today's video, we're going to talk about how to say so then in that case, and also how to say with as a preposition. So let's start off with nàme or na. By the way, this or, is that 还是 or 或者? Okay, nàme or na. It means so, then, or in that case. All Set Learning pointed out, it said it well, I'll quote, English speakers often like to connect sentences together with so, and also try to do this in Chinese with the word 所以. In reality, they should mostly be using nàme in that case. I'm such a perfectionist sometimes. The quote ended after nàme, not in that case. Okay, so they actually really nailed it with this statement. I remember one time early on in my Chinese study sending an email to a Chinese friend, and I used 所以 like 3 or 4 times in a couple of sentences, and he responded. I think maybe it was later he was talking to me. He was like, "Your email had so many 所以 in it." It just made him chuckle. So that's my own little "I've used 所以 too many times" story. In the sentence, so what are we going to do now? That so is definitely not 所以, it's nàme or na. The 所以 means therefore, and it's a result clause in a cause and effect. It's the effect part of a cause, in way because 所以, in way 所以. And of course, 所以 can be used by itself, but it has to have that therefore, or this is the effect of a known cause kind of thing. And it's a little bit more formal, where nàme is more like the English word so, kind of like dot 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 dot, so dot 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 dot. Or in that case, or then let's do it. So let's do it. That kind of thing. Here's a couple examples. 你说这个办法不行，那你有别的办法吗？你说 you said 这个办法 this method or this way of doing things 不行 is not good. It will not work. 你说这个办法不行，那 so 你有 do you have 别的 别的 here I put it there 别的办法吗？ Do you have another way? So you're saying this is not going to work. Do you have another way in mind? Does that make sense? So there we go. 大家都到了. Everyone is here. Everyone has arrived. 大家都到了. 那么我们开始吧. In that case, or so, then let's begin 吧. 大家都到了. Everyone's here. So then, in that case, let's get started. Do you understand? Like, even in English, if you think of the word therefore, it just doesn't sound right here, right? If you say, everyone's here, therefore, let's start. Well, you could, but it just sounds more formal and unnecessary. 雨停了. The rain has stopped. 那我们走吧. So let's go. Let's walk. By the way, these are all from All Set Learning examples. 雨停了，那我们走吧. Okay, so there I go again. So there we have it. Does that make sense? Nàme, this nàme and this na, they're the same thing. It's just a shorter version and a longer version. They mean the same thing here. This na cannot be pronounced ne. It's always na. So if ne this character can be pronounced ne if it means that in nega or neizhang if it's before a measure word. But it doesn't, and here it has to be na. All right, there you have it. That's how you say so, then, or in that case. Hey, now we're going to talk about 跟, which means it's a preposition meaning with. And this is a very, very common and a very good preposition to learn. As with the other prepositions we've learned, they go in, the prepositional phrase goes in kind of the adverb spot between, it's after the subject, but before the verb. 我跟你说一件事. I with you speak, talk I'm with you talk 一件事 one matter, one thing. So sure means like thing, but it's not a thing that you can touch. It's not a physical thing. It's a matter of business. It's a thing to talk about. Does it make sense? It's something that you're doing, that kind of thing. 我跟你说一件事. So notice that what in English this means I'm going to talk to you about something, or may I talk to you about something? Maybe in context it might be more like that. 我跟你说. Notice a couple of things here. There's no word like about. In the English word we say talk about. In Chinese you don't say, there's no word like about. The word 说 can be used to mean talk about. So 我跟你, I with you speak. I with you talk. 一件事, something. This is probably the most common. Using 跟 with 说 is probably the most common place you'll see 跟. You'll see 跟 all the time. It's very, very common. But talking with somebody is something that you talk about all the time. 我要跟朋友打篮球. I will or want to. 我要跟 with 朋友, with friend or with friends. 我要跟朋友打篮球, play basketball. So I'm going to play basketball with friends, or I want to play basketball with friends, depending on context. This one is from All Set Learning. It's a simple sentence, but it illustrates a point I want to make. 你想, do you want? 跟我 with me. Do you want with me? 一起 together. 去 嘛 go. Question. Do you want to go with me? The thing I wanted to point out was that in English, it sounds very redundant to say, do you want to go with me together? But in Chinese, it doesn't sound redundant. You don't have to say them together. It's just, you don't have to say both of them. You could say, 你想跟我去吗? And that's fine. Or you could say, 你想一起去吗? Do you want to go together? That's also fine. But this full phrase, 你想跟我一起去吗, is very common. Like I said, not necessary, but common, and it sounds perfectly fine in Chinese, where in English it would sound awkward. So I wanted to point that out. Those are some examples. I had another one in my notes I forgot to write down. It's 不要跟她吵架. Do not with her argue. 不要跟她吵架. All right. Another point to make about 跟 is that I think you probably remember the word 和, and 和 means, it normally means and. It connects two nouns, this and that. A ball and a rose. There we go. But I wanted to make a point that 跟, which by itself means as a verb means to follow, by the way. 跟means to follow. And 和 by itself tends to mean connection or peace. But anyway, as these grammar words, they're often interchangeable. 跟 can also mean and, like this and that. And 和 can also be used like this, to talk about with. And so they're, most of the time, in those two functions, they're interchangeable. There is one case that has to do with saying something with me or repeating it after me. I actually forget exactly how it works, where 跟 and 和 wouldn't be exactly the same, but in most cases, they are the same. So in these two functions, meaning with and meaning and, connecting two nouns. So there you have it. I hope you are having a good time hanging out with me in these videos. Did you get that? With me? Yeah. All right. You're doing a great job.